One aspect of Schindler's List which makes it unique from Spielberg's previous films is the use of cinematography. Schindler's List marked the first time Spielberg worked with Janusz Kaminski, from which a long partnership between the two started. Unlike his previous films, Spielberg decided not to use crane shots or the Steadicam or storyboards. Spielberg wanted the film to be very realistic, similar to the images of the Holocaust that many people have seen. Spielberg and Kaminski decided to shoot the film like it was a documentary. This choice resulted in 40% of the film being shot with a handheld camera. Handheld cameras are used for specific scenes to convey the feeling of actually being there during those moments. The choice of shooting in black and white made the film similar to Italian neo-realistic films such as Open City and The Bicycle Thief.
Color, or the lack thereof, is used as a visual motif in Schindler's List. Most of the film is shot in black and white, with only a few short instances where color is used. Using color in only certain scenes makes those visuals a very powerful statement, while the lack of color throughout the rest of the film speaks to the horror and darkness of the subject matter. The film starts off with a full-color scene where a group of Jewish people are celebrating the Sabbath. As they light the candles and the camera focuses on the flame, the picture fades from color to black and white. This represents the last bit of hope that the Jewish people have before the effects of the war set in. There are two instances where color is used only on certain elements in the scene and not the full scene itself. The first occurrence is the girl in the red coat, whom Schindler sees trying to hide during the liquidation of the ghetto. The red coat allows Schindler, as well as the audience, to recognize her lifeless body later in the film as it is carted off to be burned. The second occurrence of this technique is when Oscar allows his workers to celebrate the Sabbath. As Spielberg himself put it, the candles in this scene represent just a glint of color and a glimmer of hope. The final use of color within the film is at the very end, when the actual workers portrayed in the film are visiting Schindler's final resting place. The entire scene is in color, just as the beginning of the film was. The use of black and white in this film gives a more somber feeling to the film as a whole.
Many of Spielberg's films are filled with adventure and daring feats accomplished by the film's hero, and we often encounter violence, especially in films like Jaws or Indiana Jones. However, Schindler's List takes violence and realism to a whole new level. The amount of detail involved in some of the scenes involving brutal bullets to the head is incredible. Spielberg wanted the film to be violent and realistic, sticking with his plan for making the film in a documentary-like fashion. Being Jewish himself, Spielberg really wanted to push the cruelty of the Holocaust in a horrific manner, almost like personally telling the audience this can't happen again. The violence and even the nudity are completely necessary for this film. The Holocaust was a dark event, and it is impossible to make a film on this particular topic which strays from historical accuracy.